Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Whether you're watching us live at sktrading.live or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we've got you covered. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Kalayjian and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. So today we saw early in the morning the S&P futures push up around 10 o'clock to the 55.78 and three-quarter level, and then we dropped all the way down to 54.92. Now, first of all, the first pattern that we had early in the morning at 10 o'clock, there were two sell divergences. One sell divergence that was off of the 30-minute time frame on the SPY, the non-confirmation. But then the second sell divergence was off the 60-minute time frame on the S&P futures. So the 60-minute S&P futures didn't confirm the high, and this 30-minute time frame on the spiders did not confirm the high. With that being said, the 11:30 time period, the 15-minute time frame on the SPY reversed the sell on the indicator 4, which then told me that the highs, 85% that the highs were in for the day. And then we started to drift lower. There were a couple of great patterns. And then basically what happened was when we pushed up, then there was a couple of great shorting patterns around the 23, 25 level on the S&Ps. And then once the S&Ps broke 5,500 and they got down to the low 54.90 area, I said, look at the 5-minute. There were actually three different patterns I was looking at. One, I said the 5-minute time frame was non-confirming the lows because we're making new lows and the MACDs didn't confirm. I'm going to show you all this, okay? And then I said the 30 and 60-minute time frame were like deeply oversold. If you look at when the 60-minute time frames got deeply oversold, I think I had a 3 oversold reading. I looked at my yellow dots, which is the price action within the algorithm, and I said, there's no way they're reversing here. So I said I would buy them, right? The spiders, the Qs, Microsoft, Forward Dart, everything, Palantir. Now, I did not expect, okay, for the life of me, I will tell you this, I did not expect to push down from 54.92. So we rallied from 55.78. We dropped 87 handles all the way down to 54.92. 55.78 and three quarters, to say 55.78, all the way down to 54.92. That's 87 points from 54.92 all the way up to 55.65 at the end of the day. All right. So we rallied 73, 87 down, 73 up. And then at the end of the day, a great short off the 30-minute time frame, they dropped 20. Now, the volatility here is unbelievable. When these patterns set up, I mean, I'll show you Apple off the 60-minute time frame. Apple ran 3. Okay, Microsoft off the 60-minute time frame ran 5. Avago off the 60-minute time frame, because everything. Remember, when the S&Ps were making new lows, I kept on saying, I'm not shorting down here. There's no way in hell. Not with what I'm going to show you off the 60-minute time frame. Now, again, I did not think we were going to rally 73 points on the S&P. All right, the 15s were getting overbought, the 30s were getting overbought, and there were a couple short opportunities, but then they never really pulled in. And then at the end of the day, they ripped them and then they dropped them at the end of the day. But a lot of great patterns on that. Also, Tesla off the 60-minute time frame, it reversed. There was a great short in Tesla, dropped about 5. And then when the 15-minute time frame reversed to buy, there was some really great patterns off Tesla off the 15. Overall, Coinbase had some really great short patterns. Now, there was actually a time during the day when Coinbase had like a 1.50 oversold condition on the 30-minute time frame. And I looked at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was trading like 93,600, only down a couple hundred at the time. I think it was down about maybe 800, 900. And I said, Bitcoin being deeply oversold on the 60, I looked at the IBITs, and they were still bullish on the 60-minute time frame. And they had like a 1 or 4 oversold condition. And I said, I'd look to buy this Bitcoin based upon the IBIT, based upon what I saw on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin rallied off the lows. Now, it rallied maybe about $2.5, but there was some really great short patterns along the way. Once the 15 and 30-minute time frame reversed, I'll show you that as well. Palantir is a complete beast. The deep oversold condition on the 60-minute time frame below the 108.50. Palantir ran $6 from 12:30 to the end of the day. So in 4.5 hours, Palantir ran 6. The stock is a beast. Okay, there's some great longs and shorts in it throughout the day, but that 60-minute time frame, everything's set up today at 1:30 off the 60-minute time frames. With that being said, let's see here. Some other great patterns here on the day were gold. Gold was phenomenal. I mean, when the GLDs reversed to buy on the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frame, all you had to do was buy the pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame. We had a couple good shorts, but then the 15-minute time frame pulled in nicely around 2 o'clock. Kind of, not big. ADX were rising, and the gold settled up 62 points above 33.60. Gold's going right back up again. It pulled down to that 32.70. We'll see where gold goes here. But with that being said, in the end, we saw big buy reversals here again on that. This saw buy reversals at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock when the 15-minute time frames reversed. In the second segment, I'll tell you what I expect for tomorrow. But here's the thing. Again, the 30-minute time frame on the spiders at 10 o'clock, the 60-minute time frame on the S&P futures, the sell divergences in a positive trend got kabooshed when the 15-minute time frames reversed to sell at 11:30. Were a couple of good short patterns. And then I just said, look at these bigger time frames. That 60-minute. Wait till I show you this. And actually, I'm going to show it to you right now. So this is the first bounce here this morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can see we're making new highs and non-confirmation right here on the 30-minute time frame. Even on the 60-minute time frame right here, you can see, the 15, you're making new highs and non-confirmation here. Okay, so between the 15-minute and the 30-minute time frame, you saw the non-confirmations. Now, if you look at the S&P futures, okay, on the 60-minute time frame, I'll show you the 60-minute right here. This is at 10 o'clock. You can see you're making new highs here, 55.78 3/4. You can see the non-confirmation right here, and you can see the exact bounce here and the non-confirmation here. This is the pattern here on the spiders at 11:30 when the 15-minute time frames reversed to sell. You can see here. Normally, what you could do is take the long on the 15-minute time frame on the deep oversold condition because the 30 and the 60-minute time frames are still bullish. And then this is before I get to this is the pattern on the 5-minute time frame that I was jumping up and down like a baboon. When we got the deep oversold condition right here, this is when the S&P is at 130, 135. Was it right here? Let me see. It's 1802. So it was right here. It was on the new low right here. We were making new lows, and the MACDs did non-confirm the low right here. And you can see the S&P futures, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Now, like I said, I was not expecting on this here. Look at that, 54.92. You made the new lows, and you had the 15-minute time frame turning up. But this was the story right here. And I'm right here on the 60-minute time frame. Look at this pattern right here. This is a deep oversold condition right here. If you can see when we made the new lows, the oscillator was where's the oscillator here? The oscillator got down to like a 4 right there. But in theory, okay, it actually, I saw like a 1.5. So you had an oversold condition. Look at the yellow dots here. The yellow dots being that the price within the algorithm never ever looked like it was going to flip negative. And then we got the big move up here from 545.18, and you can see the move here, almost 70 points on the S&P, $7 on the spiders. Now, if you look at the S&P futures here, you can see this was a pattern that I tried to buy on the 3-minute time frame after reverse to buy right here into the positive MACD. We were at what were we? We were 55.08 and a half and to 14 and a half, and the low was 16 and 3/4. And I tried to chase it to 17 and a half, and it just continued just to move up, and we never looked back. At the end of the day, let me show you here on the S&Ps. We got the push up here, and I'll show you this on the spiders for tomorrow. You can see the big overbought condition here into the negative MACDs here, and I think this is going to be a problem for tomorrow, but I'll get to that in a minute. Netflix, great patterns of Netflix. Look at this Netflix early in the morning. First of all, Netflix opens. I mean, you want to see something crazy here. Netflix opens at 101, trades up to 110.61, and then drops 18. Overbought into the negative MACD, not only on the 30-minute, but also on the 60-minute time frame on Netflix, right? Look at the Netflix 60-minute right here. Okay, and then of course what happens, the 60-minute time frame gets deeply oversold. Netflix trades from the 86 and change. You can see the move up about $24 on Netflix. But here's the key on Netflix. When the 15-minute time frame reversed to buy right here, okay, it correlated with the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. And then what is the strategy? Right here, I'll move Netflix here. All right, now I didn't get it because I was looking actually like 98, but this was a story today. Look what happened when Netflix reversed to buy. All right, the ADX is rising, the positive MACD. Look at Netflix, 109. Look at this, 1,098.55, and you can see the move, $8 and never look back. Okay, actually, this was a beautiful pattern. So this pattern right there on Netflix was the 15-minute time frame reversing to buy. It correlates with a 30 and the 60. You buy the first pullback on the 5. MACDs are positive. The yellow dots are into the blue, which is very bullish. And then you can see the ADX is rising. ADX is rising, positive MACD. The yellow dots into the blue. And look at the pullback right here on Netflix, an absolute Picasso on Netflix right there. All right. If you look here on Tesla, pretty wild on Tesla. It had some really great shorts on the opening right out of the gate. Tesla pushed up to 92, dropped to 96. Again, when you pushed up here in Netflix, you saw, let's look at the 30-minute really quick here. You can see Netflix pushing up here. You can see the second push up to 94 on Netflix. So we had the first short, the second short, and you can see what happened here on Netflix, 94, and it got absolutely cabooshed, $10. Now, when Netflix reversed to sell on the 15-minute time frame, it also reversed to sell on the 30-minute time frame right here at 11:30. So now 2 out of 3. This was the first short on the 15-minute time frame right here. Got up to 78 and dropped down to 75. But when Tesla was trading around the 72 level, 70 right here, I was calling for longs in Tesla because I saw that the spiders and the Qs were oversold on the 60-minute time frame, as was Tesla, even though the 60-minute time frame was still bullish. Right here, you can see Tesla was bullish on the 60-minute. Right here, the deep oversold condition. You can see the 272.42 level. We were looking to buy it below 273. And then look what happened in Tesla. Kaboom. Right there. All the way back up. Okay. Now, again, when Tesla reversed to buy on the 15-minute time frame, now it went to a buy disconnect, right? 15 and the 60 reversed to buy. And at the end of the day, the 60-minute reverse to buy, but I'll get to the 15 and 30, right? 15 and 60. What do you look to do on Tesla? Right? You look, so that was exactly on Tesla, the 15-minute time frame reversed right here. Okay. And we actually took a couple shorts here and then they dropped. Not much, but here at 215, Tesla reversed to buy at 215. What do you look to do? Well, at 215 and then going forward, you look to buy the first pullback on the 5-minute, and then here's the other pullback on the 5-minute as well. With that, we saw some really great patterns on Coinbase. And again, looking at the dailies here, right? We really went nowhere today. We went from 55.78 and 3/4 all the way down to 54.92, from 54.92 up to 55.65. Gold was phenomenal today. I'll tell you, this gold patterns, when the GLDs, and I'll show you this in a second, when these GLDs reverse to buy on the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frame, you can see the yellow dots into the blue. All the pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame were longs. This is an amazing pattern here on the GLDs, and I'll show it to you here. Again, here's the 15-minute time frame reversing to buy. Well, the 15 was already a buy coming in, and then the 30-minute reverse to buy. That's setting up the buy disconnect right here. And then the 60-minute reverse to buy right here later on. Boom. You can see it here at 11:30. The MACD is positive, big buying pressure. And what do you look to do? I mean, look at the yellow dots, which is the price action within the algorithm. You can see that very, very strong. And what do you look to do? Well, guess what? You look to buy the first pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame. And here you go. Look at this pullback. Gold was trading right then and there at 210. Gold was trading around the 46.5 level, 47, I believe. Okay, let me just see where gold was trading there. This is a phenomenal pattern on gold around the 210. It was right here, 45. And look what happened in gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. Gold ran $16. Okay, and then you got another, spike down here. But really towards the end of the day. Now for tomorrow, and I'll tell you in the next segment what I expect for tomorrow. But again, what we're looking here are phenomenal strategies overall. And these strategies repeat themselves. And one of the things I'll tell people overall is that when you're trading the market, you want to be in a situation to identify the trends and the movement. When the 15-minute time, what I did was, today, even with my 41 years of experience, when the spiders reversed to buy on the 15-minute time frame right here, you went into a buy trend. You went from a sell reversal, buy disconnect, right? Sell reversal, buy disconnect. The 30 and the 60 were still bullish. And then the 30 reversed, the 15 reversed to buy here. So when the 15 reversed to buy right here, then the thing that I should have just did was to say buy them. But what I waited for was I wanted to wait for a pullback on the 5-minute time frame. And we'll probably get that sometime tomorrow off the 15. We'll probably get some type of a pullback off the 15-minute time frame tomorrow. All right. When I get back, I will go over what I expect for tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow there's no 8:30 number. We have consumer confidence, and we have a JOLTS number at, I believe, at 9:45. But we have a consumer confidence number tomorrow, and that should weigh in the market here. But looking at the market on a bigger time frame, I'm looking at the dailies here. And this is what's really quite concerning here. We have a 96 overbought reading right here. 96 overbought reading on the daily. And look at the weekly. The weekly reversed to buy. Okay, so now I probably would have to say that the lows are in right here for the year. Okay, right now, or at least I think the lows are in for the year. But when you get an overbought condition into the negative MACDs like this is not good. This is not good at all. Okay, now I expect us to push down, and any pullback is going to make a higher low. And eventually what's going to happen is that these MACDs are going to go positive. The thing that you have another big problem here, you have a problem and you have something good working for you here. You have the negative MACDs here on the monthly. Okay. However, if these monthlies start turning up and they start looking like that, okay, the market's going to rip. Okay. If you look here on the weekly, I love that the MACDs are below the pivot. But once these MACDs turn positive like this, right? If these MACDs ever get like this, OMG, look out. OMG, we're going up. But first, I think because of this negative MACD and we're overbought on the daily, I think we're going to be range bound here between 5,100 and 5,600. Okay, somewhere in there, 50, maybe between 5,100 and maybe 5,700 range. We're going to be in range. A lot of dead money going back and forth, back and forth. I think the next pullback we get on the daily is going to be setting up for a buy here, especially with the weeklies reversing here. And you got a good underlying strength here. Just to give you an example, the weekly not happening. Reverses at 50.07. That means that the S&Ps would have to drop 430 points. You can see the 507 and change. So you have kind of a mixed signal here. You're overbought on the daily 96. No problem. You have the negative MACD on the weekly. That's the problem. And so that means you have the daily getting overbought into that negative MACD I just showed you on the weekly. That's death, okay, in my book, which means I think we're going down first before we go back up. When we get the oversold condition, and not only that, you have the rising ADX here. You have the big selling pressure, the negative MACD. You have three negatives here on the weekly. So now you have the daily getting overbought into a negative MACD, rising ADX, and negative selling pressure on the weekly. Finished. Okay, I think they go back down. And what I do think, okay, is after they go back down and they get to an oversold condition, I think you're going to make a higher low. And I think eventually you're going to get that monthly to get a little bit more deeply oversold. But I do think the third, sometime the end of the second, early third quarter, and the fourth quarter, we're going to go right back up. And I do think we're going to make new highs. Now, so many technicians, I've been doing this for over 41 years. So many people on the lows were bearish. I saw one report after another report, after another report, after another report. Everybody is like, we're going to 3,600. Okay. Look, I've been doing this a long time. I actually posted on X on my official Stephen Kalayjian. I said, I back up the chart below 48.70. Okay. I actually said to my friends, I said, what do you think? I said, I'd buy them below 4,900. A good friend of mine called me, said, Stevie, I want to put money into the market. I said, if it was me, I'd buy them. Okay. I can't tell you what to do. I can't give investment advice, but I think they're going back up, and they're up 600 points, more than 600 points from that 40. Even if it was from below 4,900, the low was 48.75, I believe. And the overnight session on Sunday actually got down to 48.30, 48.36. But with that being said, now for tomorrow, I think the market has some problems. The problems being is that you have a 90 plus overbought reading. We saw how fast they dropped at the end of the day. You have the negative MACDs on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. Avago just traded down $1 in the post market here. I think that the market is poised to drop for tomorrow. To give you an example, the spiders on the 15-minute time frame, 546.49. I'll show it to you right here on the 15-minute time frame. You can see 546.50. That means that the S&Ps would have to trade 40 points lower just to get the reversal on the 15-minute time frame. Okay. Now, I do think possibly tomorrow we get some type of an oversold condition, and then we get maybe one more push up. But once these 60-minute time frames get to a 93, 94, 95 overbought reading into those negative MACDs, I think we roll right over. combined with the overbought reading on the 60-minute time frame and the daily, I think you're going to have to say, let them have them. All right. Again, that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. If we do get a pullback and we get to a deep oversold condition and the 60-minute time frames are still turning up, which I think they possibly can, then I would say you look to buy them for one more push up. And then again, combined with this overbought reading on the daily, a 96 overbought reading, the negative pattern on the weekly, the negative pattern on the 30 and 60-minute time frames, I would say I'd let them have them. Okay, the higher they go, the more I would look to sell into it. And then I would look for another opportunity for a deep oversold condition on the daily for set up another long. All right, when I come back, I want to tell you about a young man I spoke to yesterday and actually over the weekend. And, you know, I just want to tell you and share his story with you. All right, I'll be right back. So a young man I met, lives in another country, calls me up, I need your help. I spent over I'm not going to mention his name, obviously. I spent over $22,000, and can you help me? And I really appreciate everything that you're doing. But in the end, I spent over $22,000 and I did over 100 evaluations. Well, right off the bat, I said to myself, this guy belongs in the Guinness Book of World Records, right? Because I knew somebody who did 63. Now this gentleman did 100, okay, 37 more. And I said, why would you do that? He said, well, I want to learn. I want to make money. I'm like, well, I understand that. But after 10, if it's not working, then what you should probably want to do is just take a step back, you know, and understand that you're doing something wrong. And he said, you're my last hope, Steve. And I said, I'll help you, and I'll do everything I can to help you. But here's the thing, though, right? It's like, and I come up with these stupid analogies. Like if I got into a car at Talladega yesterday, probably by turn 3, I don't know what I'm doing 220 miles an hour. I'll be crashing into the wall. God, who the hell knows? I wouldn't even know what I'm doing, right? To me, you need to learn first, right? And I will tell you that before you do these prop evaluation type firms, you really need to learn and you really need to focus. And what you really need to do is take a step back. And then once you learn, then you can apply yourself. And then you can apply yourself the right way by giving yourself the ability to give yourself a chance to then learn from someone like myself, learn the conditions, learn everything that you're seeing, learn. That to me is everything, okay? By learning, by watching, by seeing, by understanding everything that you're doing to the point that when you're trading the markets, you feel confident and you're able to identify the patterns. You make $500 a day, bam, next thing you know, what happens? You go and if you pass the evaluation. Some people have 3, 4, 5, 10 accounts. If you've made 500, you have 10 accounts, you're making 5,000. But at least you have someone like myself who's teaching you, who's guiding you, who's giving you the understanding of the markets in a way that will give you the best ability to learn and to apply yourself and to be successful. All right. So again, if you're going to trade your own money, great. If you want to trade prop accounts, great. But learn from someone like myself who can teach you the patterns, the strategies, and give you the ability to hopefully succeed going forward. All right. With that being said, thank you, everyone. I'm Stephen Kalayjian. Thank you for joining me here on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. I'm sorry I was out on Friday. I had a family emergency. I had to go visit my mother. Very, very she took ill and I had to go see her. So I'm sorry I had to run out of here on Friday afternoon. And thank God, okay, for now, everything's stable. But with that being said, I had to bolt out of here and I didn't even have time. I just bolted. But again, thank you for joining me tonight. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please leave a comment. Again, my social media. I do not DM back. If you like, please follow me on official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Most important, if you have any questions, please, you want to join my community of traders from all around the world. My website is sktrading.live. And if anybody has any questions, you want to reach out to me, the only way I'll respond back is through a text. My phone number is 914-500-7484. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, enjoy every second of life. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Be well, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live or on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.